Oh, hey girl, I didn't see you
Enough of all
there.
that. We get the point. Welcome to Mango Tea, blah, blah, blah. Let's get to the point. I don't have all day. Got work to do.
Mango tea. Made in China, bitch. Hey girls, so I hope you're having an awesome Sunday. Jeff and I are here on camera with you girls today because we wanted to do a husband video so you guys can get to know a little bit more about me, a little bit more about Jeff, because I put out a tweet a couple weeks ago, maybe even back as far as January, asking you guys to ask us questions. So we're going to be answering your questions here for you today. But first and foremost, if you're not already subscribed, please go down and click the red subscribe button down below, as well as the little bell icon that's going to notify you when I make a new video. Also, you can follow me at Steven Mango across all my social media channels. And Jeff and I also do live streams on YouNow. So if you want to get notified when Jeff and I are live on YouNow, you can go to younow.com/StevenMango and you can get notified when Jeff and I go live on live stream. You guys can interact with us live, ask us questions, and it's a lot of fun. So if you are not already watching us on YouNow, you guys can find us around 4 to 5 p.m. Los Angeles time on YouNow. So without further ado, let's get right into your questions. Okay, so for the very first question, how did you meet, and did you know he was the one right off the bat? So we'll start with you.
How did we meet?
Yeah.
Through the internet and the online meeting.
Yeah, so for me, basically, I wasn't going online to necessarily meet someone to get married. Like, I didn't necessarily think that that was what my intention was.
Yeah,
when I went
we know
online.
what your intention was going online.
No, but, you know, I was 20 years old, I was in the closet, I just was kind of figuring out more about myself, and I was leaving the Church of Scientology. I didn't really know, but I knew I was kind of on my way out. And of course, when you're in Scientology, you can't be gay. So I went online to try to meet guys because obviously they're homophobic as an organization. So I wanted to start meeting different people. I didn't really have a lot of friends in LA, and I thought, well, if anything, I can go on some dates and meet some people and get out of the house. And I met Jeff. And that's kind of what sealed the deal for me. I knew right away that I was marrying you, and I've told you that. I knew right away from when I first came to his house, because on our very first date, the next question is, what was your first date? I thought that Jeff was going to be cooking for me a home-cooked meal for our very first date, but that didn't actually happen. So Jeff...
Yeah, because I found out you were a vegetarian.
Yeah, but I just don't understand why that would make a difference. Oh, vegetarian, okay, so I'm not going to cook for you.
Because it's very easy to put together a meal when someone eats normally. You get your meat, your piece of fish, you get a piece of steak, you get your vegetable, you get your potato, there it is. But if you have to have some leek-covered something or other, Jesus.
When was the last time I ever ate a leek-covered something or other?
You know what I mean, though.
So you're considering that meat is normal food, and if I like tofu or vegetable or tempeh, then it's considered odd food or not normal.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, so Jeff and I went to this restaurant. It was called Local. It's local to where we live. It's like 10 or 15 minutes away from where we live, and they have kind of hipster sort of food. It's in like a hipster part of town. So.
They never seem to be open though now.
Yeah, they're never really open. I don't think we've been there pretty much since our first date. We went like once or twice.
Whenever we go by there, it's closed, but it's not out of business. It's very strange.
Yeah, so we haven't been there in a long time. So we went out to eat, and I was expecting a home-cooked meal. I'm like, what is he going to cook for me? Because I did tell you I'm vegetarian, so I had no idea what you were going to cook, and I kind of almost rather just go, no, just in case you weren't a good cook. So that was our first date. But did you think I was the one when you first met me, though? Let's actually ask the question to you. Did you know right away that I was the one, that I was going to be the love of your life?
Oh, no.
That we'd fall in love forever and ever?
Oh, not at all.
No.
I just thought it was a hookup.
Oh.
Well, I mean, that's the truth.
How long have you been together for?
Well, from start to finish, it'll be 6 years in May.
Start to finish? Why is there a finish? What? I thought it should be from start to finish. Start to finish, 6 years, and we're done.
You know what I mean?
No, I don't know what you mean. You said start to finish.
I just meant, did they mean married or from the very first date?
Start to finish, it was 6 years. That was it. When did you know the other person was the one? Who proposed, and where did you get married? Like I said, I knew Jeff was the one right away. When did you know? He has to think and think and think.
There wasn't really any specific moment. It was more of a gradual sort of a thing.
You're so cute, Jeff. Just a gradual thing. Who proposed?
I did.
Would you want to tell them how you did this?
It was on Valentine's Day at the Encore in Las Vegas. And I had ordered the ring, and I had it hidden, and we had room service in the room, I guess that's why they call it room service. And they delivered the food, and then...
I had vegan meatball and spaghetti. I don't know what you had. Because of course you don't remember.
I don't remember what I had.
Well, it wasn't that important to you. You were just...
Well, no, I was kind of nervous. I don't remember what I ate, you know. Then we sat on the couch and I presented the ring.
You didn't present the ring. He goes, oh, look over there, like by the lampshade.
Yeah.
Then there's the box. He's like, oh, that's your gift. Like, go open the box sort of thing.
Valentine's gift.
But I already gave Jeff the Valentine's Day gifts. I gave him cards and things, and he's like, okay, like, happy Valentine's Day. And I just felt like, okay, like, this was the gift by going to Las Vegas, and it wasn't necessarily that he was going to give, like, a physical gift. Like, the trip was sort of like our gift and that sort of thing. So I pretty much figured that was my gift, and that was it. And you're just kind of like, okay, bye. And I'm kind of like, oh, that's it?
Yeah.
That's it then? You don't want to get me anything?
And you got a diamond ring.
And then I got, because I wanted a black diamond ring. I'm not wearing it now. Jeff is actually wearing it, so he can show you guys in a moment. I got Jeff the same exact one, so he proposed to me with this ring. I have to get it resized because my fingers are chubby, but I got him the same exact black diamond ring, so... That's the ring that Jeff got me, and I got him the matching ring for our engagement. And then we got married about 8 or 9 months later, I would say.
We proposed in February, we got married in August.
Right, so a couple months later we got married, and we got married at the Wynn in Las Vegas, which is like the sister property of the Encore Las Vegas, because they're both owned by Steve Wynn, or they were owned by Steve Wynn.
Not anymore.
Yeah, not anymore, but that's where we ended up getting married in August. We had 2 weddings. We had one wedding in our backyard on August 10th.
Which was the legal wedding.
Which was the legal wedding. Because
after Proposition 8 was sent back by the Supreme Court. I'm taking over at this point because you don't really understand the finer points of this.
Right, so then that's what happened, and then it was just me and you with our best man and the priest in our backyard.
And the
dogs.
And Lily.
And our 2 poodles. Before Drama Poodle, Investigator Poodle, we had Beauregard and Lily. And then 5 days later, we flew to Las Vegas for like the actual like hurrah friends and family wedding. Well, I was using it as an expression.
Yeah, we didn't fly.
We didn't fly, but it's just the expression.
We drove.
We got there. How do you both balance your relationship and keep it fun and interesting over time? Well, I'm mango tea, so I go mango tea, and that's what's fun about it because Jeffrey's grumpy, and I keep him young and lively. You know, what would you say is the answer?
I'd say get involved in your own interests and activities so you aren't dependent on the other person for everything and all of your happiness, because they're not responsible for your happiness. You have to have your own life, and then you have your life as a couple. Words of wisdom.
I agree. I think that it's really important that you don't have your spouse be your everything, that you find friendships and other things, that you don't just expect the person to always say like, oh, I want to go bowling, but the other person doesn't like bowling, but you like bowling, and they're resentful at you because, you know, you drag them to the bowling alley, for example. So I think that, at least for me, it was important to make sure that I had other people to have my interests with, and he has things that he enjoys, and, you know, I may not like PBS NewsHour, and that's what he likes to watch on television, for example. So as long as I let him watch PBS NewsHour, then
that's my favorite
happy.
television
It's
show.
Favorite television, and I'll watch Housewives and stuff, but if I have the expectation, like, you must, you know, enjoy this with me, then, you know, we're just going to be resentful and angry at each other if I have to be forced to sit through PBS NewsHour or something. But I think for relationships, though, that you can't just treat it as like, okay, we've been married for so long, now I can just air my feet out and let loose, and I don't have to do anything, I don't have to make the other person happy, and I don't have to make them feel special or buy them flowers or take them on a date. I think that you still have to act as if you're still in like the dating stage and say, okay, I'm going to take you out to a romantic dinner, and this is what we're going to do, and making the other person feel special and wanted and cared for, and it's not just like, okay, like, let's just go to Taco Bell and get a mushy taco. I mean, if that's what you can do and that's what makes your partner happy, then that's what you should do. But I feel like once in a while you kind of have to kick it up a notch and make the person feel like they're just as important as the early days of the relationship.
Yeah.
Like, oh, whatever, I don't care about doing something good for him, or I don't know. I just think that it's important just to keep the spark alive as much as you can. Do you have advice to couples when it comes to being opposite, even when some fundamental ideas are very different?
My advice would be, if you can avoid bringing up those kinds of subjects, then you probably should. Sometimes it's unavoidable, and if the person is so at odds with your underlying value system, then maybe it's time to rethink whether this is the right person for you.
You should have been a relationship counselor, Jeffrey.
Yeah.
You just tell it how it is.
I
You
sure
just like
do.
know exactly what to say. What do you love about each other, and what do you dislike about the other? I love that you're a smart, intelligent man, and you're not full of yourself, like you're not a narcissist or anything like that, like me, that you're just very down to earth, you're easy to talk to, you're funny, but you have like that witty, sort of sarcastic sense of humor. I just think you like look at me and you make me feel so awkward. I'm telling you all the different things I like about you. No, but I just like that. I just feel like a lot of people pointed out that, you know, you're more serious and I'm more like fun and silly and goofy, and I think that we like play off each other very well, because even though we are different, just like the other person said about opposites, that I think that we balance each other out in the right way, but I think that we have a lot of fun. What do I dislike about you? I think sometimes you get grumpy, and it's sometimes annoying when you're grumpy, when you're just kind of like, ugh, and you get just kind of grumpy and about you.
Yeah. Well, I basically say the same thing except in reverse. I do think you're very smart, and when you're interested in something, you're very hardworking, and you're funny, and those are kind of like the important things. And dislike, I'd say sometimes you don't take certain things seriously that you should take more seriously.
Do you get a lot of criticism about your age difference?
No.
No.
From who?
Just like people in general, like family members or friends or other people. I don't think...
Maybe they were thinking it, but they didn't say it.
Like directly say anything. Yeah, no, I feel like from your perspective and your friends, it's different because you're with someone younger, but when you're with someone older, I think there's more of a stigma, like, oh, you're with an older man, is he your sugar daddy, is he creepy, does he pay you money, and that sort of thing. So I think it's different.
Well, you know the answer to that, don't you?
No, but what I'm saying is, I think when you're younger with someone who's older, like, oh, like, what do you have in common with someone who's so much older than you and stuff like that? But I think we balance each other out. It's not creepy. Like, I feel like some people who have an age difference with their partner, or you see it on YouTube with some of these different people who have, like, an older, younger relationships. Like, the older guy's always creepy, I feel like, in a lot of the different cases.
Yeah, I haven't seen that, so I don't know.
I don't know, I just feel like it's kind of more of like an arrangement, just like an arrangement sort of situation, but we fell in love with each other based off of our own personality, interests, and things like that.
Plus, let's face it, really, if you didn't know the exterior, you'd be the older man and I'd be the younger man.
Right, because I'm always in...
You have some ailments and complaints and this and that.
I act a lot older than he acts.
Yeah. My secretary did ask, she did it in a good way too. She said, I know you're ready to get married, but do you think he's ready to get married? And I think that was an allusion to your age. But she didn't do it in a judgmental, negative way. She just wanted to make sure that I was not doing something stupid.
Right, but I think that it really depends on the person, because some people who are 20 years old are like a 20-year-old, for example. They may not want to get married, or they want to just hook up with different people every single day, or whatever the deal is. But if you're a 20-year-old who's going on 46, or, you know, like it's the right person for you, or you want to be in a relationship with them, then I think, like, obviously go for it if that's what, you know, you're ready for. Two 20-year-olds who are both the same exact age may not necessarily be on the same page or be ready for marriage or that sort of thing. Or if you're 20 versus 23 and someone may say, you know, why aren't you with someone closer to your own age? Or why would you want to get married when you're young? And it's like, well, would I rather be alone for 10 or 15 years and then when I'm at the appropriate age to get married, then get married then? Like, if I'm with someone who's right for me, why would I, like, let that go? So I think that a lot of people put judgment on age different relationships when really it could be totally normal if you're with someone who is normal. If you're with someone who's creepy, then that's a whole different thing. I think that there's just a stigma about it. But no, we don't get, like, criticism like when we go out or something like that. What is one thing that annoys you about the other person? I don't like how Jeff drinks so much coffee, and like whenever we go, it's like, where's Starbucks? Where's Starbucks? Where's Starbucks? And I don't drink coffee. I drink tea, maybe, if that. I'm very caffeine sensitive, so I don't really drink coffee or anything like that, but he's always like, okay, let's go to Starbucks. We're driving somewhere. Okay, where's their Starbucks? And I think that's like the most annoying thing. Is like, why do you have to drink coffee like 4 times a day, 3 times a day? I just think that when you're actively seeking out coffee, that it's annoying to me as someone who's a non-coffee drinker. Okay, so what annoys you about me?
That you're a vegetarian.
Yeah, but you like eating vegetarian and vegan food now.
I do eat some of it, and I do like some of it. But it makes it harder to plan meals, as I indicated earlier.
Which YouTubers do you like to watch? I love watching Trisha Paytas. I just did a video with Trish. If you go down to my channel, you can check out the video that I did with Trish. She was one of the original people that I started watching on YouTube. I started watching Trish, and I started watching Shannon Rose. And I didn't get into YouTube until maybe like 2 years ago, I would say, something like that. Now, I did post my videos on YouTube when I was exposing Scientology on my Mangoteology channel, which is my other channel that I initially started with, but I didn't necessarily like watch vloggers or get involved in like anyone's life or anything like that. But I started watching Trish, and then I found Shannon Rose, and I started watching Shannon Rose, but like the primary person that I would watch is Trish, and even Jeff could tell you, like, all day, all night, I was always watching some Trish video to kind of catch up, because I came into the Trish world, you know, after she was already doing YouTube for 8 years, so I was kind of catching up on her videos and learning more about her. So she was someone I started watching like daily, but then I started adding on like other YouTubers. I started watching drama channels and stuff like that, and then I started finding, you know, the Jeffree Stars, the Manny MUAs of the world, and I started watching like beauty gurus, because of course I'm a hairdresser, so, and a couple different gay YouTubers and stuff, so I kind of spread it out from watching 1 or 2 channels to starting, you know how it works. You start watching one person, then they start vlogging with someone, and you start watching their channel, and then all of a sudden you have 100 subscriptions. So that's kind of what happened for me. So who do you watch?
I watch virtually no YouTube, except I will watch Jack Meridew, and then I also watched, even before that, was Adventures of Zach and B.
So you watch the gay YouTubers is what you're saying?
Well,
two or three gay YouTubers.
I don't even think 3, just those 2.
Well, there's a couple, so that...
I know, but I mean those are the 2.
What was Jeff's reaction when you told him you wanted to start a drama channel?
I really don't think I understood what it was.
Yeah, I don't think he knew.
So I don't think I had much of a reaction. It was more of a yes, dear.
So then how did you feel once I was like, okay, so bitch, and I started doing videos that were drama related?
Well, to me, I liked it because it was creative. To me, a lot of the videos that I saw are just someone talking, or where the person isn't even showing their face, they're just doing a voiceover. And so I thought it was creative, and I hadn't seen it before. Now granted, I hadn't seen much YouTube, but to have animals involved, and you know, when I did drag, I always had the Poodles involved. I always had livestock. You can rarely go wrong with livestock. So
you consider drama poodle, investigator poodle livestock? I think they're more than just livestock.
Well, yes, but when...
She's not a farm animal.
I know, but
she's not a goat.
But when I was a twink in my 20s and living in New York City, there was a hurricane that came one year, and I called my mother from the office I was working at, and I screamed, "Get the livestock in," meaning our miniature poodle Truffle, who was never outside anyway. Her feet never touched the floor.
What would I have to do to make you do the greatest eye roll of all time?
Probably spend more money on that crap.
What crap? The Paris Hilton unicorn
Yeah,
mist?
that stuff.
I've only bought 1 bottle. You act like I buy it weekly.
Yeah, but you remember what happened is
so
that
much
you
unicorn
dropped it
mist.
in the bathroom, it broke, and the whole place smelled like someone threw up in a rose patch for the next month. It's awful. Jesus.
Do you guys have a favorite restaurant?
Yes, we do. It's called Din Tai Fung.
We like eating dumplings and dim sum and Chinese food, that sort of thing.
We went there last night, in fact.
Who is more obsessed with poodles? We don't have to answer that question.
I think that's pretty obvious.
It's pretty obvious, because I wasn't a poodle person. Let's put that straight. Even though I have them on my channel, it looks like I was the poodle person. He had the 2 poodles, Beauregard and Lily, before I got into the relationship with him. They were already senior dogs, so he's had poodles for a million years. So then I came over his house for the first time, and I didn't really know that he had poodles, or maybe he told me, but I wasn't prepared for like the big standard sized poodles, so it was different for me because I never had any animals or dogs or anything growing up, so it was just kind of interesting to in a relationship with someone who had dogs. It's like, okay, get off the bed, all that sort of stuff, because I've seen dogs around, like, but I didn't actually live with dogs, so it was a lot different for me to get used to. But obviously I love dogs, but not poodle exclusive, but he's exclusively poodles. He talks in Facebook poodle groups, he's in several of them, he talks to different people, he gives them advice about poodles, so he is like the original poodle person.
Poodle maven.
Yes.
Yes, I've had 6 standard poodles. Phineas and Penelope are 5 and 6. There have been 4 predecessors.
What is your favorite holiday destination to go and visit? Las Vegas?
Holiday?
Yeah, like you're going on holiday. Like my fans aren't usually from America, they're from overseas, so we call it holidays. So
well,
I
in
would say
Britain
Las
they call
Vegas. I know, because my fans are
well, yeah,
originating
Las
there.
Vegas, yeah.
Probably Las Vegas, because Jeff doesn't really like to travel too much. I want to go to Macau. I want to go to some different places.
Because I don't like to be away from the Poodles.
I just like to be away from the Poodles. I wouldn't say it's a holiday destination, but I might go to Playlist Live in Orlando and VidCon, but that's in Anaheim, so that's only going to be like
I'd
an
like
hour
to go
away.
back to the Bahamas, and hopefully when it's better weather.
Yeah.
Because the
It
weather
would be nice
was,
to go to the Bahamas again.
it was a nice place, but the weather was terrible.
So for our last question, they want you to expose one thing about the other person.
I think you've already been pretty well exposed already.
But the things people were saying weren't true. I could say right now.
No, they weren't true, but
yeah.
but,
but
but
continue.
people are. That's the beauty of the internet. People say whatever
Whatever
they want.
Okay, no, you expose me.
You eat too many pretzels.
No, I love eating pretzels.
The pretzels. First of all, it's unrefined flour, unrefined bleached flour that are baked and then they're salty. So they cause a hypoglycemic crash after you've eaten them, and they cause you to get bloated because of all that salt
Okay,
and
we get the
retained
idea,
water,
but-
and you blow up like a tick.
But I've been eating pretzels at least 2 bags a week, if not 3 bags a week, for 10 years.
Well, does
I
that
just
mean
like
if you
eating
smoke 2
pretzels.
packs of cigarettes
No,
a day,
you
you
can-
ought to keep doing it just
can
because
always
you've been
quit.
doing it for 10 You
can always
should quit
but
because
I like
it's not
eating pretzels,
healthful.
But I like eating pretzels just as...
You like eating pretzels
It's
and being
enjoyable to
bloated.
me. Okay, so I have to expose you. But the only thing that's... I don't know if it's really exposing as much as it's annoying, going back to the whole coffee thing, but Jeff likes to leave like these half-empty coffee cups around the house, and he has like one of those plastic Starbucks cups. So in the morning I find one that's half full,
For
or
the
there'll be one in
environment.
the sink, so then I have to empty it out, and then I have to go and I have to wash the cup and everything like that. And I feel like if you're going to be a coffee drinker, then you should take care of your cup, you should rinse it out yourself and that sort of thing. But there's always coffee cups everywhere. They're in his car, they're in the bathroom, they're in the living room. They're just like half-consumed cups of coffee. It's not like the cups of coffee are empty. You just drink half of the cup and then you get done with it. So that's like the only thing I feel that's something I could expose about you is about the coffee. You're always consumed in some sort of coffee thing.
Yeah.
Well, that's the end of the video for today, guys, I guess. If you like videos such as this, please again make sure you click the subscribe button. If you want to see Jeff come back on my channel, let us know in the comment box down below what type of video you would like from me and Jeff. I'm also going to be starting my own like personal vlogging and story time sort of channel. Jeff's going to be on it, so if you want to subscribe to that channel, there's no videos on there yet. I'm restarting that channel from scratch. It's stevenmangotea. Again, I'm going to leave all my different channels in the description box below so you guys can subscribe if you want to stay up to date and in tune with my other videos outside of drama. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you on my next video. Thanks so much for watching.